This is Swiftlet, a Taylor Swift podcast with a literary twist. Today's episode is all about the life of a showgirl. I will break down my initial thoughts of the album and my reaction to some of the promo that Taylor has done so far. As always, I am your host, Peyton Edwards. Initial impressions. I will be honest, I haven't quite figured out where this album lands in the grand scheme of her discography for me. I'm still getting used to it and haven't yet shuffled it or put her discography on shuffle with it in it. I haven't attempted to rank the individual songs either. There's nothing on the record that I dislike, so that makes it a bit harder too. That being said, I am enjoying the album quite a bit. I do really like the retro sounds that pop up on a handful of the songs and think it's a fun, vibey, and danceable record. That being said, I don't think it's her best album, nor do I think it's her worst. I think it's somewhere in the middle. It has been fascinating, though, to see how divisive this album seems to be for others, in the online space at least. I think it's similar to how the Tortured Poets department was first received, with people being a bit quick to judge it and not forming their own opinions on the songs based on their own listening experiences, but rather on how they might be perceived by others. I always try to approach new art, regardless of if it's an album, book, or film, as if it exists in a bubble. I don't place any strong expectations on it and let it speak for itself, and I don't immediately compare it to anything else. That doesn't necessarily mean I will always enjoy it, but it's my way of ensuring that it at least gets a fair shot without any outside noise influencing my opinion on it. I really love how Taylor plays with her vocal range across the 12 songs. You can clearly see how the time on tour and the demands of it influenced how she recorded the songs, and she uses it as an instrument throughout the tracks. I really love the various vocal layering and harmonies that pop up on songs like Opalite and Wood. Given what Taylor said on the New Heights podcast to announce the album, I can see why she chose these 12 songs to make the cut. Learning that Wish List was the final song of the record makes sense, since it's about being settled in the knowledge of knowing what you want, and it feels like it puts a nice bow around the ideas that she touches on throughout the tracks. I think the choices for the opening and closing songs work well to introduce and finish the stories and themes on the songs. The Fate of Ophelia sets the tone for what the record will explore and makes references to other songs and ideas that listeners will encounter later on. The title track ending with the audio from the Eras Tour feels very full circle, since this project started while she was on it and is all about her life off the stage during that time. Something that this album does really well is showcase Taylor's sense of humor. It seems that hanging out with Sabrina Carpenter has rubbed off on her a bit, since she's infused many of the songs on this album with her humor, something that she hadn't really done on as much as some of her previous works. Taylor keeps with some of her classic ways by incorporating twists in the storytelling in several of the songs on the album. Father Figure, Eldest Daughter, and Ruin the Friendship all feature a twist of some kind in their lyrics, and hearing them play out for the first time was so fun because at times they were unexpected. I also really like how so many of the songs reference one another with a single word or phrase, and it helps tie the story together and see how these feelings came to be. As I expected, most of my theories didn't come to fruition on the album. I love to see how my initial theorizing compares to the actual songs, and how far off I was. It's just a fun part of the process. Who knows how I'll feel about the album in a few months, but as of right now, I am enjoying it and still exploring the parallels to her previous works. The official release party of A Showgirl and the Fate of Ophelia video. I did attend a screening of the official release party of A Showgirl during release weekend. I found the behind-the-scenes look at the making of the music video so intriguing, and I love seeing how things come together. The explanations of the individual tracks did help me have a deeper understanding and appreciation for them, and consider them in a different way than I did initially. One of my favorite things about the screening was seeing all of the different people who attended it. At my showing, there were a group of friends all dressed in Showgirl orange who got to share the experience together. And there was also a little one who very excitedly exclaimed, "Taylor!" every time she came on screen while watching the music video, which I thought was very sweet and pure. I really love how Taylor reunited with her Eras Tour family for the video and played with the idea of what a showgirl looked like in different time periods. As with any Taylor music video, there were Easter eggs abound. Some of my favorites were the Sourdough and Meredith statue, the pictures of Marjorie on the vanity, and the hotel room number being 87. The one I want to know more about is the orange bird that appears throughout the video. I have no clue what it may be a reference to or symbolize, but I'm sure we will see it again in some time. Since this era just started and Taylor has said she wants to do more music videos for the album, I'm very excited to see which song she chooses to bring to life visually. I personally think videos for Father Figure and the title track would be interesting, given how character-based they are. The Life of a Showgirl promo. Taylor has already done quite a bit of promotion for this album, and to be honest, I'm still trying to catch up with it. The last time she did this many interviews was back in 2019 in the lead up to the release and afterwards for Lover, so it has been a while since we've had some longer form content of Taylor talking about her work. One of the things that has been standing out to me the most across the various interviews is how Taylor keeps mentioning how joyful this release is and how her life isn't drastically different from where she was when making the album. Usually that isn't the case since there tends to be a decent gap of time between the start of the work and when it's put out to the world. It's been fun to see her open up about these songs and the creation process for them. I have also really enjoyed her talking about her sourdough hobby. I know she's been mentioning how it's been annoying and people are gonna have to tell her to stop, but it's very cute to see her genuinely excited about something other than music and something that sounds honestly really delicious. So I'm here for the sourdough content as long as she wants to keep going with it. I will be curious, though, to see if she does more interviews as she promotes more singles and as time goes on, or if this will be it for the era. Overall, I've been enjoying this album and exploring the individual songs still. I'm excited to see, as this era continues, what other things she has up her sleeves to bring this album and its stories to life. Thank you for listening to this episode of Swiftlit. This episode was written and edited by me, Peyton Edwards. I hope you enjoyed listening, and if you did, please rate, review, follow, and share this podcast. You know, all of that good stuff. You can connect with me on Instagram and the site formerly known as Twitter @SwiftLitPodcast.